is up, everyone? My name is Andrea. If you don't know me, you should subscribe because, like, why not? You should also hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video, as soon as I upload a new video. But anyway, today I am going to be filming my book review on Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. The beginning of this video will be non-spoiler, so don't worry, you will not be spoiled, and I will tell you before I get into spoilers. And boy, do I have some spoilers to give. I am so excited to delve in and talk about this book because I enjoyed it a lot. Also, really quickly, want to say thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. I am doing a giveaway on my Twitter. If you go to my Twitter right here or in the description below, all the rules and stuff will be there. But it ends next Friday, or this Friday, on September 11th. But all you gotta do is go retweet my tweet, be subscribed, and drop your Amazon wish list on that tweet. And I am going to be choosing 2 random winners to win some books on their wish list. So definitely check that out. But anyway, let's get into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Blood and Honey a very high 4 stars. Now, I literally just finished this book, so I haven't fully processed anything. I need to go back and see what I rated Serpent and Dove, because if you don't know, this is the sequel to Serpent and Dove, and I don't remember what I rated that one. I think I gave it a 4 stars. I hope I didn't give it a 5 stars, because I definitely liked this sequel a lot better than Serpent and Dove, like 100 times over. I felt like this one was just way more fast-paced, and it gave me way more connections with the characters. I'm not gonna lie, whenever I read Serpent and Dove, I literally did not know who the extra side characters were. I knew who Lou and Reed were. Besides them, I did not know anyone. And in this book, I actually felt connected, and I was like cherishing the characters. And I give props to Shelby for making me feel something about the characters, because definitely she redeemed herself there, because I hadn't felt that at the beginning. If you don't know what Blood and Honey is about, like I said, it's the sequel to Serpent and Dove. It is pretty much about a witch and a witch hunter who are forced to get married for certain reasons, and all of the problems that arise from that one simple thing. And that's only one aspect of the book, and there's just so much more that came from there. But like I said, this is the continuation of that entire story. There was actually a good plot, I felt like, and there was a couple plot twists and actually quite a lot of deceptions, and it was entertaining, just period, entertainment at its finest. And I loved the relationships and everything like that. It was like tea and drama, and it kept me wanting to read. It kept me engaged once I really got into like all of the juicy parts of the story. Now, on the other side, I did find a few plot holes, like small plot holes, which I will delve into whenever I talk about the spoilers. But it kind of brought me out of the story, because I was like, wait, like, where did this character go? Or wait, this person got hurt, and how are they all of a sudden not hurt? And it's never mentioned again, and they're just fighting like they didn't get hurt. Stuff like that. It was just like continuity situations that did not continuate how they should have. That's not even a word, but you get what I'm saying. And it was just taking me out of the story, and that made it a little less enjoyable for me, but I could still, you know, work around it. But it was like work on the reader to kind of forget about it and just like accept this reality, and that's fine, but still I wish that would have been like edited out or something, or fixed. I also felt like this book is one of those young adult books that should not be marketed as young adult, because the author is trying so hard for it to like be adult, but they have to stay like within the young adult guides. I'm just really surprised that this book got passed through as young adult, because, you know, so many F words, a lot of inappropriateness, and I loved it. Like, it's perfect for me. I mean, I'm 22, it's definitely was entertaining for me, but if I was like 14 reading some of these things, I would be like, what? I would probably be happy that I like had found a book that had all that stuff, but I really wouldn't understand, and I would be like, oh my gosh, this is kind of crazy. So yeah, that was kind of weird. It was kind of weird to me to think that younger people would read this, because I, as a 22-year-old, was like a good audience, and I understood the jokes and stuff like that, and I feel like younger kids probably wouldn't or shouldn't, but I don't know, that's just like one thing that was kind of weird to me. I definitely think that a lot of people compare Shelby Mahurin to Sarah J. Maas, and I've, you know, tried so hard to be like, no, like, stop comparing them, like, every author's gonna write different, but I see it a little, you know, I really saw it. And the one thing, this isn't a spoiler, but the one thing that really got to me about the comparisons between Sarah J. Maas and Shelby Mahurin especially in Blood and Honey. And I guess I didn't pick up on this in the first book, but there's literally a character in this book named Manon. And we all know Queen Manon Blackbeak from Throne of Glass. So, excuse me, why did Shelby, who is a known Sarah J Maas fan, write a character named Manon? Like, that was kind of weird to me because when I hear Manon, I picture Throne of Glass Manon, so I couldn't properly visualize this one, and I feel like that is a thing on the author to where they shouldn't use character names of other really famous characters. I just feel like that makes sense, and that brought me out a little bit of the story too. Lastly, for the non-spoiler, I will say that this was definitely a lot better than Serpent and Dove. So if you did not like Serpent and Dove, but you like still have an interest in the story and in Lou and Reed, I would suggest picking this one up because I liked it a lot more. And a lot of people did not like Serpent and Dove, and I get it. Like, it's one of those that you just literally, you love it or you hate it, and that's fine. But I think this one was a lot better, and of course, this is only Shelby Mahurin's second book ever. Like, that's insane. And for what was in here, I literally highlighted and underlined quite a few things. Like, this was such an improvement, and I'm so excited to see more of her works because I feel like she's so talented, and she knows how to write a story. She really does. And so I'm excited, and I think this just shows how talented she is and how she has so much potential to become like one of the biggest authors in young adult writing. I'm just excited to see that, and so I was definitely so happy with this book. I'm glad that I waited so long and anticipated so highly because it really blew me away, and definitely I'm so grateful that it was better than Serpent and Dove, and it really just, you know, gave me this newfound love that I can, you know, hold on to for these characters and not feel guilty that Serpent and Dove wasn't that good, because this one definitely made up for it. Also, let me just say I love sequels. Like, I'm always the type of person who my favorite book in the trilogy is the middle one. I don't know why I'm like that, but I am, so I could be kind of biased, but I thought this book was really good. Oh my gosh, okay, my Serpent and Dove mug is up there, and that's Lou. I just realized she's in the frame. I'm so glad. I love her. This book actually did leave on a cliffhanger, so just putting that out there. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into spoilers now, so if you do not want to be spoiled for Blood and Honey, I would get out of this video now, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Okay, now that all of these spoiler people are gone, let's get into it, guys. I am so excited. I haven't done a book review in a while. I love book reviews. They're like my favorite, all-time favorite video to film on my channel. I just love doing them. Let's get through these notes. I'm just gonna go in order and let's just do this. Okay, like I said, I really thought Blood and Honey was so much better than Serpent and Dove. Like, dude, like, it was just incredible. Like, it was so much better. I don't know, I was actually so surprised that the pacing was faster because Serpent and Dove took me literally 100 pages to get in, and Blood and Honey did not take me that long. Like, I was just in a slump, kind of, but I was actually so entertained, and I wanted to read. I feel like there were so many different scenes. Like, first they were like, you know, in this camp, and it was kind of like a small world, and they were just like stuck waiting and like figuring out what they're gonna do about Morgaine, and then finally they like get out of there, but at the same time they like went to the river, and then they found the Troupe de Fortune, and then they like had to split up, and then they had to go to find the wolves. Just so many things. And the ending, Celie came out of nowhere. Like, what is she doing here? Why is she relevant? All of that. So I really appreciated that there was so many different little scenes that actually made such a great story. Please tell me if I'm the only one who was like surprised about this character named Manon. Like, I just feel like it's not Manon. I already have a Manon. I can't have two. There's not room for two. Okay. Also, I want to mention Victor and Violet. Their names are so, like, I could not even tell which one was who. It was just a lot. But those were like Reed's little sisters and Beau's little sisters, because Reed and Beau are like half brothers. I forgot. Like, I did not remember hardly anything from Serpent and Dove. I did not remember who was who, that Beau was like a prince and that Ansel was I'm gonna wait. And that Ansel was like, you know, just like the kid that everybody like made fun of. I was just not invested in them. And then in this book, I was like, I love them. Like, they are babies. Like, I love them. Anyway, I think Victor and Violet are just like queens. They're little queens. Their whole scene when they broke out Beau and Reed and Madame LaBelle from the little prison, iconic. They are queens. They're so funny, and they don't fight. Like, I love them. I want to be them. Here's some plot holes that I saw. Very small plot holes, but I was like, what? So Reed got injured by the wolf, Blaze, how do you say that? Whatever. Got injured in an arm, like his arm was like dangling. And then out of nowhere, you know, Lou freezes the ice. Okay, it reaches all the way across the forest. Okay. All of a sudden Reed's back. The timing thing was a little bit weird too, like because we had two different perspectives trying to line them up. There was some problems there. I'm not going to unravel that entire thing. That was just like, my brain can't figure that out right now. But there was that. But no, so like, when did his arm get healed? Because it was like dangling out of his socket, and then it was just fine. And he was fighting like normal, and like a couple chapters later, he forgot about it. Healed. Like, nobody healed him, but he healed himself. I don't know. I was just kind of like, okay, what happened? Also, after like the whole thing with Baz, when he came back and like Lou gave him back his memories and everything, which I was like kind of happy because I knew that Baz was going to come back, and I was like, how's he going to just not have his memory? So I was glad that it was restored. But after they encountered him, I was like, where did he go? Because they never even said where he went or that he wasn't with them. And then I think after that, Madame LaBelle wasn't with them either. And there's just certain things that weren't explained. Like, characters would just all of a sudden be gone, and we wouldn't know who exactly was with the group. And I was like, are they here and just not being mentioned? But then they're never mentioned again. And I'm like, well, where did they go? And why didn't we get like one line, just like one line about that they went somewhere else, they separated ways? Like, did I miss it? I feel like I'm a tentative reader. I feel like I did miss it. But where did they go? I don't know, but that just kind of took me out as well. I will say that the miscommunication between Reed and Lou was done pretty well. There wasn't too much to where it pissed me off. Usually in second books, the main love interests have to be separated and have to, you know, have issues, and that wasn't really the case in this book. They did, but they were still talking and they were still around each other. They did get separated, and let me just verge off to another path. Whenever they reunited and Reed was going to throw daggers at his mother, and then it was Lou, I ate that up. It was delicious food. I ate it up. I love to see it. That was the tension, this shock. I was like, this is everything. This is everything. It was so good. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, so there wasn't the miscommunication, and I was very thankful for that. But when they finally did hash out everything, and, you know, I felt like it was done well, because Lou was dealing with her own stuff. Reed was dealing with his own stuff about how he killed the Archbishop, who was like a father to him, the only person who's ever really loved and rooted for him in his entire life. And I just felt like we really saw them going through those stages of being angry within themselves. And then when it had, like, close to the end, the scene where they really hashed out and dealt with their trauma, it was done really well. And one thing I respect about authors is when they can write trauma really well, because I love being able to relate in any way, and I feel like everyone has trauma, and so in some way you can relate to it. And I definitely just felt something. I felt emotions, and that's what I love when I'm reading, and I haven't felt that in a while. And so I love the way she handled that trauma, especially Reed dealing and coping with it, and just seeing his thought process about how he had to let the Archbishop go, and he had to, you know, figure that out, and that's why he was unhappy, and that's why him and Lou were unhappy. It was just so good. It was so good. There's also a quote on page 438, I marked it, when Reed said how Lou is his home, and I just love that. It was so cute. I love to see the validization of the two characters' love for each other, especially when they're saying it to each other out loud. I love it. Or we're getting to hear it in their heads. Gold. Love it. The way whenever they were in that room, their room, watching the procession of the burial or the ceremony for the Archbishop, his funeral parade, basically, whenever they were watching that, and that's when Reed was having those flashbacks and really figuring out what was his deal and the problems that he had and everything he needed to fix. Whenever he was crying and thinking about, you know, going through all of his feelings, and Lou was just comforting him completely and helping him, and she understood. That's what I really loved, is that she understood him, period. Like, she understood why he was feeling that way, and she just, like, was there for him, letting him cry. Seeing Reed, this, like, 6-foot ginger boy, cry, love to see it. I just think it was great that we got to see Reed cry and break down, because that was a connection between him and Lou, and it was very vulnerable. And if there's one thing that I love more than like a torture trope scene, it's a vulnerability scene where one character is crying on the other character's shoulder, because that is just literally, my heart broke, and I was like, I felt like I was there with them, and I was like, it's okay guys, like let's stop crying, like we're all crying here. Lou's crying, Reed's crying, I'm crying, the gang's all here, but we're gonna be fine. And it just touched my heart. Whenever the entire end climax came to them having to find Celie, I was just like, how is she relevant? Where did she come from? Why is she here in the second book? It really made no sense to me. I feel like I liked the plot twist. I mean, points for that, but I think it still could have came down to a big fight without the plot twist, but I mean, it was also cool, so I respect it. It was actually pretty good. I don't know. But I was just like, why is Celie? Like, it was kind of weird. Like, and then she didn't understand that Reed didn't love her anymore. It was like she'd forgotten, but I don't know. And then at the end, it was just kind of forgotten, and she just went with John Luke and forgot about Reed, but the whole time she had wanted Reed and was crying for him while she was over her sister's corpse. And Lou is Reed's new girlfriend. But I don't know, that's just me. Maybe it wasn't weird to other people, but I don't know. I don't like how she was like a big plot point. Like, they should have like stole somebody else. They should have stole Coco and had Lou go save Coco or something. I don't know. Let's just talk about it for a second. I can't believe that Shelby killed Ansel. I can't. The way that she has been promoting Blood and Honey for so long, and she's been talking about Ansel, she's been hyping him up, she's been saying how he gets his time to shine. And she fooled us. And now we're the clowns? And now we're the clowns. Because Ansel's dead. She literally calls him her cinnamon roll, because he is. He's a cinnamon roll. And then she killed him off. I saw it coming. Towards the end of the book, I was like, Ansel's gonna go. He's gonna go. Andrew, just accept it now. But I didn't think that she had the balls to do it. I didn't. Because she's been talking about him on social media. Ansel this, Ansel that. I did not think she had the guts. And let me tell you, she had the guts. Am I scared for the end of the trilogy that she will have more guts and hurt us more? Yes, I'm scared. But I respect it, because authors need to take risk, and that was a risk. It really was, and I'm sad. I teared up. I'm not gonna lie. I teared up, and it was really sad because Ansel didn't deserve that. He just didn't. Like, Lou literally called him worthless minutes before he died. Like, bitch. That's sad. But I'm sad to see him go. I'm not gonna lie. I'm smiling, but on the inside I'm sad and I'm frowning. And finally, we get to the ending. We get to the grand finale where Nicolina and La Vazon, I don't even know her name. Is it La Vazon? I can't speak French, I don't know. When they've been like working together, they've been cohorts this entire time, and they get Lou alone, and then they're like hearing her talk about how she wants to kill everyone, which, you know, makes sense. She wants revenge for Ansel, okay. And she's just gone to the dark side, and they're like, she's passed the test. She's finally come to the dark side. Now we can control her because she's letting this evil in, which that is very clever of Shelby. That makes sense. Like, I don't know, that was kind of a cool parallel. My dog is making noise, I'm sorry. But the fact that Lou is now possessed, she's literally, I don't see any other explanation. She's possessed, and she came out at the end and kissed Reed, and finally Nicolina got to kiss Reed. Like, she's been pining after him this entire book, which is creepy, and finally she got him. Like, she'd been planning it the whole time. We should have saw it coming, and I didn't. I was kind of starting to like Nicolina. I thought she was cool, and now I'm like, she betrayed me. Really, she did. Truly, I'm the clown. But I cannot believe Lou is possessed. And that's just gonna cause so many issues. And like, it's a good thing. We need this. We need this for the plot. But I'm like, we can't just chill? Like, we can't chill for a second? And I thought she was gonna get stolen away. And I was like, okay, like, I'd like to see her get stolen away because then Reed can go find her. But it's almost worse that she's possessed. So she's gonna be with the group, but she's not herself. But she's there, but she's not. She's possessed. and it's gonna be hard. I don't know how Shelby's gonna write that. Good luck to her. I'm excited to see what she comes up with, because that's gonna be crazy, and I want to see Reed figure out that she's possessed. I feel like it might be a thing where it's quickly resolved and that they realize that Blue is possessed, and then Coco fixes it really early on, because I feel like they would notice. But then again, if the entire book is dragged on to where Lou is possessed and she's like secretly doing, I'm just coming up with like wild crackhead theories now, but like what if she's just like the entire book she's like leading a double life, and like when everybody's asleep she's just doing all the bad things, like and then they think that she's like betrayed them and truly gone to the dark side. I'm scared. But that was a good ending, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm happy. I'm overall happy with Blood and Honey, and there's nothing more to say about it, so I'm not gonna keep rambling, because like I said, I just finished and I have so many feels, so I gotta go before I just don't stop. But I gave Blood and Honey 4 stars. I still waiting for something to blow me away. Maybe book 3 will blow me away completely, but we'll see. And I honestly could give this one a 5 stars. Check my Goodreads later. I don't know. I just need to decide. It might be a 5 stars. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Let me process it for like 24 hours. Give me a day. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. I hope you like this video. Hope you like this video down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!